And we're back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Rollsicle. I, of course, am Nathaniel, one of the hosts here at the channel. I'm joined by my lovely co-host in Ashley. Say hi.
Hi.
There she is. There she is. Okay, so you guys have seen these before. This isn't our first run of the. This isn't our first. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Rodeo? Is that the? This isn't our first rodeo. Is that the saying?
You were trying to say run of the mill, and that was.
Yeah, that's not right. But anyways, this isn't our first rodeo when it comes to Commander unboxing. So we're going to be jumping into this. You guys have seen the other three Modern Horizons 3 Commander decks, and we are now jumping into the last one. The one I'm most excited for, which is Eldrazi Incursion. This is a 6-color deck. I kind of hate the saying 6-color deck because colorless really isn't its own color. But to be fair, it does have its own pip, which is a whole thing. So we're going to break into this, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the other ones. This is by far the deck I'm most excited for. Now, we've played all the other ones by the time we're recording this. I don't know if we've gone back and added our description like we said. Just bear with us a little bit. We are currently really busy with school and stuff. So,
insanely.
Yeah, in this exact moment, we are at a very, very busy point with school. But
Nathaniel has almost finished his TPA. I have barely started my TPA, but I got a teaching job, so...
I like that. This one, the thing in there, if you guys can see that. The end of the rainbow and all life.
I'm scared.
Can
I have the trash, please?
Eldrazi doing Eldrazi things. So we're gonna, in case you guys wonder, that's why she loves me.
Okay, you don't even get the...
I do not, no.
There's a reference to Rick and Morty when I say, I love trash.
I've watched all of Rick and Morty.
Yeah, and there's a good episode that has the little trash dude that comes out and eats all the trash in the garage.
I don't recall right off the top of my head.
Well,
more trash.
I'm going to pull it up for you later.
And then all of the cutouts that we don't need.
care about.
But the deck is in here, and that we do care about.
Fair.
Oh. Along with the piece of paper that we do read every time.
Trash.
More trash. Followed by, it looks like they went with yellow as the bottom of this.
Terrible.
Considering that it's a rainbow deck. Oh, more trash. Considering that this is a colorless / all colors deck. It's really interesting. Ashley is throwing stuff over there.
Not throwing things.
She said, "Do we need a deck box?" No. Anyways.
Here, will you hit my milkshake?
I don't know if that, our video just lagged, so I hope that it recorded okay. But if it didn't, it's not our fault. We're doing the best we can. There's our super cool dude and our six color deck box. All right, great. Let's jump into things. This is our deck. We'll get to that in a moment. Of course, we have our pack that we'll open up at the very end. And our little foldable that tells us who this guy is and how to play the deck. So let's get into that. And it also kind of tells us a little bit about how to play Commander, but we know how to play Commander. Ulalek.
Oh, Ulalek.
Ulalek.
Not Ulamal.
No, that's a different dude. That's a different deck, actually.
I tried.
Ulalek Fused Atrocity. I don't know if you guys can see that, but if you can, feel free to pause it and give it a read. Alright, here we go. The Planeswalker Ugin once compared the appearance of Eldrazi on a plane to the appearance of hands being dipped into a pool of water. That said, Ulalek is what happens when two Eldrazi Titans dip into a plane at the same location from the Blind Eternities. An amalgamation of Ulamog and Kozilek lineages, Ulalek's presence amplifies both the innate tendencies of Ulamog's spawn to warp physical properties and Kozilek spawn to warp reality. Its own influence on a plane is constantly shifting, as if the substance of its being is constantly in flux. Ulalek has only ever appeared once, on a plane that has long since been reduced to a drained husk, and whose name has faded from memory. Since then, it is unknown if Ulalek as a being still exists, or if it came apart once the aspects of Ulamog and Kozilek that made it up withdrew back into the Blind Eternities.
Interesting.
Very interesting. All right, playing the deck. The Eldrazi are back on the rise. Command Eldrazi of every size, shape, and color as you use Ulalek to grow your horde ever larger. Start small with a swarm of scions and spawns, and then dominate the board with huge Eldrazi monsters that affect the game in their own puzzling ways. It's time for the Eldrazi to emerge again and annihilate their competition.
Period.
And there's another nice big picture of Ulalek. All right, so let's find out what good old Ulalek does.
Okay, can we admit though, I was kind of right about Ulamog.
I don't know, maybe.
He's part of Ulamog.
There's sort of a weird art style on this commander.
Oh.
It's a little more faded than I expected it to be. I wonder if that's a misprint or if that's how he comes.
Well, I was sorting through our cube, and I noticed that oftentimes we will have the same cards, and they will be like wildly
that
different.
seems really faded.
Let me look it up on Metabox and see what I can find.
Anyways, this is what you guys get. It's almost like a ghost rare from Yu-Gi-Oh type vibe that's going on here.
It's a ghost rare from like TCG Simulator.
Anyways, Ulalek Fused Atrocity, white, blue, black, red, green, aka Wooburg, or colorless.
I mean, it's kind of supposed to be that.
So, devoid, so it might be correct. Devoid, this card has no color. Whenever you cast an Eldrazi spell, you may pay 2 colorless. If you do, copy all spells you control, then copy all other activated and triggered abilities you control. You may choose new targets for the copies. Mana abilities can't be copied. Really interesting there. And crazy on the foil. So what does he do again? Let's think about this. Whenever you cast an Eldrazi spell, so you want to cast a bunch of Eldrazi in this deck. Honestly, setting him off to the side isn't going to do much in this video, because, heck, you guys aren't going to be able to make that out very well. But, there's more trash.
That's what he looks trash.
See, I feel like this
is really faded.
Really faded.
Can I see it?
Compared to that.
That is, like, you can't tell where his body starts and ends.
Yeah, I don't know if that's normal or
I feel like that's not. I've found some pictures online of, like, the foil version.
Mm-hmm.
And it does not, like, okay, maybe, like, that one's the foil version. But, like, this one's the foil version.
Yeah.
And, like, you can still, it's a really bad picture from Reddit, you guys. You can still see his body outline. You can't see his body outline on ours.
I don't know.
Anyways, in some places.
I'm not too worried about it, but, you know, hey, if we have a cool misprint, let us know down in the comments below.
Please tell us.
But yeah, so that's what he looks like. This is our good old Eldrazi friend. So let's think about that. Whenever we cast an Eldrazi spell, we may pay colorless. If we do, copy all spells we control, which is going to be the Eldrazi one as well. If you do copy all spells you control, then copy all other activated and triggered abilities you control, which is really powerful. All right, so we're going to set him off to the side.
Put him in a sleeve.
Probably down here. Yeah, here. You can put him in a sleeve, and once we have him back, we will set him off to a side.
Can we show the sleeve color or no?
Yeah, we can go and show the sleeve color, because we are going to be in gray sleeves for this deck. It felt fitting. There is our good old Ulalek.
Yellow.
But yeah, so we're going to throw that bad boy down here, just so that he's present. Then you guys know the drill. We're going to trash this, because nobody likes that.
Nope.
And
I mean, keep it if you have a bunch of friends who might be
Take a look at our tokens here really quickly. Not going to spend too long, but we've got some Eldrazi Scions, and by some I mean 5, apparently.
Damn.
Shapeshifter, pretty cool. Eldrazi Angel, and some Spirits. And then on our flip side, we have some 10/10 Eldrazi tokens, a good number of copies, and then some Eldrazi Spawn as well. These ones are 0/1s, these ones are 1/1s. But yeah, good fair of the tokens there. Just going to set those aside. Then we have our thick commander, which does seem to be much more visible than this version of him. Well, I guess in the right light, they're about the same. It makes me feel a little better about this one. But we're going to go ahead and set that bad boy down on top of him. And we're going to jump into this thing. Let's find those basic lands. Where do they stop? Oh, wow. They stop very quickly. Yeah. Wow. That is... this is going to be a long video, because that, my friends, is one of each basic land that this deck runs. A single basic in every color.
There's got to be some good lands
Plains,
in there somewhere.
Island, swamp, mountain, and forest. I'm going to set those off to the side for Ashley to start sleeving up as she do. And we're going to jump right into these things. Unclaimed territory. Choose a creature type land. That's one of those that's going to help us get our colors. Path of Ancestry, perfectly playable in a deck like this, assuming there's a lot of Eldrazi, and I'm going to assume that there are. Kindred Sorcery, so this counts as an Eldrazi if we cast it, which is pretty nice. Create a bunch of the Scions. Pretty neat. Suffer the Past. Exile X target cards from target player's graveyard. For each card exiled this way, that player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Definitely a card I think I would take out of this deck unless it does something wild, but I feel like that's probably a card that could be removed. Garruk's Uprising, totally playable if we happen to play enough power 4 or greater creatures. Ulamog's Crusher, we've got an 8/8 Annihilator 2 for 8. Ulamog's Crusher attacks each combat if able, but, you know, pretty good Eldrazi in the common slot there. That's pretty neat. Ancient Stirrings. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a colorless card from among them, put it into your hand, and put the rest on the bottom. So this is a go get a... Well, don't go get, but look at the top and pick out a colorless card. Ash Barrens is perfectly fine because, again, we're gonna want lands that can tap for that colorless mana, so we like to see that. Command Tower. Killing it. Talisman of Dominance. Honestly, the talismans are going to do really good in this because we can tap them for that colorless, which is what we need. But we can also tap them for those colors. So theoretically, I'd love to see one of each of those in here if there's enough of every color. Warping Whale. Choose one. Exile target creature with power toughness 1 or less. Counter target sorcery spell or create a 1/1 colorless Eldrazi Scion token. I don't know. That seems a little pointless. I mean, I guess it's not. All right, there's another talisman. This one's our red-green. We've seen blue-black. This one is green-blue. I should be using the actual words here. We got a Wastes. So these are basic lands that tap for a colorless. These things
those
are
exist?
Yeah, they're called Wastes, and they used to be about $2 a pop. Which really added to the value of decks like this because they're a basic land that tap for colorless. Idol of Oblivion. This is one of the ways we can make those 10/10 Eldrazi's. It also lets us draw a card if we've made a token. Secluded Courtyard. We saw this. This got reprinted, right? This is a Foundations card, maybe? Secluded Courtyard?
Yeah. It's a rare.
No, I think it's uncommon.
No, it's a rare.
Really?
That and Rogue's Passage.
I thought they were uncommon.
Oh, shit. You're
and
right.
then the rare one is the one that can turn into like a 3/3 or something like that.
Yeah.
Tomb of the Spirit Dragon taps for that colorless, and we can gain 1 life for each colorless creature we control. That could go pretty hard with a bunch of those Scions on the battlefield. Arcane Signet, absolutely broken. Dreamstone Hedron. This thing taps for a good number of colorless there, and you can sack it to draw some cards. That's nice. Oop, I'm getting eager on flipping multiple. Forsaken Monument. This looks nice. Colorless creatures you control get +2/+2. Whenever you tap a permanent for a colorless mana, add an additional colorless mana. Whenever you cast a colorless spell, you gain 2 life. That seems perfect for this deck. Exotic Orchard, tapping to produce color of an opponent's land. That's going to be very good for getting the colors we need. Tap for colorless, tap, draw a card, activate only if you control a creature power 4 or greater. That seems good enough. Eldrazi Octopus. With Emerge, what does Emerge do? You may cast a spell by sacking a creature and paying the Emerge cost reduced by that creature's mana value. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Whenever you cast a spell, tap up to 4 target permanents. Pretty neat. And again, our goal is to be paying a little extra for these spells and then getting to copy them and everything else that's on the stack. Tap for colorless, tap for double colorless, spend it only on Eldrazi. That's perfect for this deck. At the beginning of your upkeep, make an Eldrazi spawn token. That's like exactly what we want to do as well. Draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. And then you may cast a spell with mana value. Oh, this is in one of the decks. I think this is in like the I think this is in the enchantment deck. I think I've seen you play that one, right? Where you draw cards equal to the greatest power and then you can may cast a spell with mana value 5 or less. All is Dust. Each player sacrifices all permanents they control that are 1 or more colors.
Damn.
Wow.
Crazy.
Mystic Forge. Look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast artifact spells and colorless spells from the top of your library. And you can exile the top, so you can sort of manipulate the top of your library there. Devoid. Exile another target creature, Eldrazi. Let's see, this one is Devoid Flash. Whenever you cast a spell, you may pay 1. If you do, create some Scions, or at least a Scion. This one's a blue one. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. Oof. Nice, that's pretty good. Also on an Eldrazi, so... Eldrazi Tribal is getting a bunch of cards here. That I don't know if these are new cards or if these are reprints or what, but... Hopefully that, I'm realizing that I haven't actually been paying much attention to whether or not this is in the camera, but hopefully you guys can see all of this stuff.
Terrible host.
I'm really doing
Truly.
my best over here.
Incredibly lovely.
Untap this guy during each other player's untap step, and he can tap for a bunch of different things, including drawing a card as long as you're able to pay some colorless, which is pretty good. Those are all the abilities that if you cast an Eldrazi, you could actually double.
Wow.
Devoid, create some colorless stuff, right? Because our commander colors our commander doubles or copies all of the stuff on the stack, essentially. More lands that can tap for colorless. World Breaker, this guy used to be worth a lot more. We pulled one of him in Jumpstart, I think it was, but
I think so.
Pretty good card there. Cool, because as soon as I saw it, I was like, I can put it in my Eldrazi deck, and then I looked it up, and it was already in there. So, Kozilek's Return is an instant that does some Eldrazi things, but it's devoid, so it counts as colorless. Here we have a Shapeshifter, Changeling. This card is every card type. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Spells of the chosen type you cast cost Wooburg less to cast. Huh. I don't know if that actually needs to be in here, honestly. I mean, he's a cool Eldrazi, but... Temple of Silence. So we have a Scryland. That could probably come out of there pretty quickly. Another Scryland, except this one is Golgari. Imprisoned in the Moon is, I guess, fine. I mean, it's okay. It's okay removal in Commander because you can just, like, turn their commander into a land, and until they have enchantment removal, it's just kind of stuck that way. This is a damage land. These ones are decent. I think those ones are pretty good. Another damage land, except this one's in Orzhov. Damage land in Rakdos. Damage land in... God, this is really testing my knowledge. Why is it slipping my... Simic. I knew it.
Nathaniel.
Okay, look. Oh, God. Damage land in... Is it Gruul?
I don't know.
What's red green?
I don't like red, so don't ask me.
I probably butchered that one. Damage land in Azorius. A new Eldrazi. Whenever you cast this spell, target opponent exiles the top 4 cards of their library, then you may put any number of land cards that player owns from exile onto the battlefield. Not bad ramp. Damage land in Dimir. I'm getting there. I'm getting there, y'all. Damage land in Celestia. Better not forget that one. That's Ashley's favorite.
You get stabbed under the table.
Damage land in... Is it Golgari?
Baby, you already...
I said Golgari earlier. For black green, so I'm gonna stand by it. Damage land in Boros. Let's see. Remove stuff to add some more just lands that can tap for colorless and other things. Return of the Wild Speaker is a great card. Draw cards equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures you control is just pay 5, draw a shit ton. But you can also buff up your squad if you really want to with that bottom ability to buff them up. Drowner of Hope. Another Eldrazi, making some Scions and stuff. The Scions are really going to help us pay, like, extra. Scry X, where X is the highest mana value among permanents you control, and then draw 3 cards. You're going to scry a hell of a lot in an Eldrazi deck. Shrine of the Forsaken Gods. Tap for 2, spend this mana only to cast colorless spells. Definitely a land we want in this deck. Sire of Stagnation. Devoid. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, that player exiles the top 2 cards of their library, and then you draw 2 cards. Hell yeah. But it's got Dimir in there. Eldrazi Monument. This one's really good. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and have flying and indestructible. But at the beginning of your upkeep, you sacrifice a creature. If you can't, you have to sacrifice Eldrazi Monument. So you want to keep some of those spawn around, or Eldrazi Monument's going to go away. An indestructible land that you can pay 5 and tap it to add 5 mana in any combination of colors. I guess that's useful, maybe? I don't know. Eldrazi Conscription. Enchanted creature gets +10/+10 and has Trample and Annihilator 2. Yeah, this is that big Eldrazi aura, essentially. Now we have an Ugin in here, which makes sense because that tend to like colorless spells. Color spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. And then you can do some stuff that's making some spirits or destroying permanents. Good stuff. But you're really going to want that passive ability. At the beginning of combat on your turn, switch the power and toughness of any number of target creatures until end of turn. Switch the power and toughness. That's really fun. Myriad isn't going to do much, but when it leaves the battlefield, create some spawn. Okay, I see why that's useful with Myriad now. Spawn Bed Protector. At the beginning of your end step, return up to one target Eldrazi creature card from your graveyard to your hand and create some scions. Even more stuff, guys. Eldrazi Confluence. Choose 3. You may choose the same mode more than once. Target creatures are getting buffed a little bit. Exiling non-land permanents and returning them. Or creating some spawn. Mutated Cultist. When you cast this spell, remove all counters from up to one target permanent or opponent. Next spell you cast this turn costs 1 less for each counter removed this way. That's a really interesting one. Whenever you attack, choose odd or even. Creatures with a mana value of that quality can't block this turn. And Bloodthirst 2. I don't know what Bloodthirst 2 does. Maybe we'll have to look that up later or something. Hideous Taskmaster. Whenever you cast this spell for each opponent, gain control of up to one target creature that player controls until end of turn. Wow, that could go pretty hard. Another Eldrazi, Bismuth Mindrender. Exiling, let's see, you may cast that card. Pretty good stuff there. So I see Paying Life on there. When this enters, sack any number of creatures. Create that many 4/4 Eldrazi Angels. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's just keep it up, people. Each player chooses a color, then exiles each permanent unless it's colorless or it's only the color its controller chooses. That's still pretty good. Eldritch Immunity. Target creature you control gains protection from each color until end of turn. That's pretty good. And then Overload lets us target everything with that. And it's Kindred, so it counts as an Eldrazi spell. When you cast this spell for each opponent, choose a creature that player controls. Create a token that's a copy of one of those creatures, except its power is equal to the total power of those creatures. Oh, wow, that's pretty good. Ward, sacrifice a permanent. Tap it to create a 10/10 Eldrazi creature token. Yeah, let's just tap this guy and make 10/10s every turn. Why not? Let's just do it. That's fine. Add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. If you spend this mana to cast your commander, it enters the battlefield with a number of additional +1/+1 counters on it equal to the number of times it's been cast. Okay, so we can buff up our commander a little bit, I guess. When you cast this spell, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, God. All right. Oh, we did it, guys! Soul Ring! Which, honestly, is extra powerful in this deck because it's too colorless.
Yeah.
So, Reliquary Tower, which, like, realistically, we're not drawing cards, but we'll take the land that taps for a colorless. Like, it's just a better waste, right?
Yeah.
Because it... Anyways, a land, sack it, destroy target non-basic land. Great, we have some land removal. Land, sack it, go get one of those 3. Land, sack it, go get one of those 3. These are actually from Modern Horizons 3.
Got it.
Ulamog's Nullifier. Eldrazi Processor. I don't even know what that means.
God knows.
Alright, when it enters, you may put 2 cards from your opponent's own from exile into their owner's graveyards. If you do, counter target spell. I don't know.
It does something.
That's a weird one. This, you can sack it, create a bunch of the spawn guys. It's a land. Hedron Archive, no surprise there. This is like a balanced Soul Ring, right? It taps for 2 colors, but it actually costs 4. If you guys can hear that, I do apologize. I have roommates that I can't control. Another Signet here. This one is the... I think I said Golgari for black-green, so I'm sticking with it. Then we have Titan's Vanguard. When you cast this spell, whenever Titan's Vanguard attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each colorless creature you control. It's pretty good. A Crib Swap. Exile target creature's controller creates a 1/1 colorless shapeshifter creature token. That's interesting. Kindred Instant. I'm so sorry, people. I really hope that's not very loud.
I'm really praying.
Kick a green and or 1 and a blue Eldrazi Wizard. This is from the set. This is from the Modern Horizons 3 set, so, you know, it's probably not too broken because it's an uncommon from the set. This is also an uncommon from the set, but it does some good stuff for us. There's other uncommons for the set that could probably shift their way into this deck too. I have a couple of them. Ever-flowing Chalice is a pretty good one here because it's going to tap for colorless, and you can actually get a bunch of multi-kickers on it and have it tap for quite a few colorless if you get it late in the game. Herald's Horn is pretty solid for just generally speaking tribal decks. Eldrazi Turtle from the main set. This is one of the commons from the main set. And then alternate commander, which is Azlask the Swelling Scourge.
Woo,
Whenever Azlask the Swelling Scourge or another colorless creature you control dies, you get an experience counter. Interesting. Pay a Wooburg. Creatures you control get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of experience counters you have. Scions and spawns you control gain Indestructible and Annihilator 1 until end of turn.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah. Whenever it or another colorless creature you control dies. So that counts for every like spawn that you sacrifice.
Make, or every scion that you sacrifice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's when they die. But yeah, so you sack all those spawns, and then suddenly you're able to just pay Wooburg and buff your whole army. Plus, Annihilator 1, like what that means, if you guys don't know, is that when this thing attacks, target defending player has to sacrifice 1 permanent.
Oh my god.
So if you have like 10 spawns that all got Annihilator 1 Indestructible, you just go, I send all 10 of them your way.
You have
and now you have to sack 10 permanents.
And that's even lands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you don't have anything else, you have to start sacking lands.
That's terrible.
All right, and that is the last one there. She should have been sleeving super effectively that whole time. So she's very good at what she does.
I actually almost never had a pile.
And just like that, we have
a deck.
I cherish it. I cherish it. The Eldrazi deck. Honestly, I'm gonna be so honest. I enjoyed reading these cards 10 times more than any of the other decks. This seems like so much fun to play.
I believe that.
I just want to play big colorless things that go, I smack you for so much.
It's going to be pretty easily. He's going to get a win.
I really hope I get a win with this, yeah. No, honestly,
I hope you get a win with it.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, it was sad. It was sad.
It was sad. That was sad. Really sad. This was sad.
I can redeem it. There we go. I got it. Nice and clean. All right, let's see if we can do one like from the top down. I don't know if we'll be able to, but there we go.
That was nice.
That was like
better.
Much better. Yeah. All right, but there we have it. The entirety of the deck. I'm very excited. This is by far the one I was most excited for, which to be fair, I think that Eldrazi in general is by far the one that most people were most excited for. This deck was going for like $120 and stuff like that by the time that it was coming out and whatnot. And like, genuinely speaking, I don't think it's that good of a deck. I think it's good. I'm super excited to play it, and it could be a lot of fun to upgrade, but sadly, I've already landed on which deck I'm upgrading. If you guys haven't checked out that video, it should be on the channel, because it came out. It's already out by the time we're recording this, and we're recording this well before this is going to come out. So, yeah, you guys should go check that out. You're upgrading, what's her name, Morska? Undersea Sleuth, which is the commander for the Deep Blue Sea Precon, and I am upgrading... Got it. I am upgrading Sidar Jabari, which is of Zalfir, which is the commander for the Cavalry Charge Precon. Very excited for both of those, and stay tuned in the future for some upgrade guides and whatnot of how we end up. Jesus Christ, these are slippery.
I would just put them down and then arrange them from there, because it's just shaking the table.
I know. Okay. Bam. All right, let's get this bad boy put in his box, and then we will break out
Your box is not open. Because you didn't put the box on my side this time.
He's going to get it.
You put the box on the wrong side of the table for me.
There it is. All right. So we will put away into his box.
You want your tokens?
Yeah, I will. Oh god, he's slipping. This is bad.
You struggling?
I am struggling. He does not want to fit into the box. That's the problem. Is that he's not like straight enough. Some of the cards are a little. Oh my god! I'm so sorry, everybody.
He's trying.
Can he get it into the box? Yes, he can. All right, there we go. We're just gonna kind of let it shimmy its way in, and then we will shimmy in our tokens behind it. This is how Nathaniel puts his decks in a box, by the way.
It's the right way.
At least in these boxes. Get a little shimmy for those to come on, shimmy down, shimmy down. Good enough. And there we go. All right. We have them.
Woo! All right,
Well,
let's see. Shall we get anything good from the collector
will we
booster
get
pack?
anything from the sample collector booster pack? We don't buy collector boosters here, but we do get sample packs from the commander decks that we buy. Do not buy it for these, but they can be pretty fun to open.
Mana box at the ready.
Mana box is at the ready. We have a
Add card.
Add card. We have Aether Spike. We'll be getting to her in a moment. This is a common that I do not imagine is going to be worth much.
Aether Spike.
But I think this is actually... yeah, it is. Cool? It's old border
13 cents.
Hell yeah. And then you guys probably already saw it, but we have Laelia the Blade Reforged.
Spell it.
Laelia. And it's the like full art foily lady.
Lea.
Lae.
Okay.
Lia.
Okay.
Laelia the Blade
Like
Reforged.
full art.
Yeah.
Oh, $1.25.
$1.25. Haste, whenever she attacks, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Whenever one or more cards are put into exile from your library and or your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on her.
I love it.
Dang. Yeah, she's a pretty good creature. Genuinely speaking, so that's pretty neat. Good for her. I might already have one of her, but great. We hit a little something.
We did.
So that's that. There we go. We have it. We have her. We'll put the little Aether, whatever it's called, under her.
Aether Spike.
Yeah, Aether Spike. Setting her down there. And then setting this bad boy right there. Get this out of here. We don't need it.
Oh, that's just like, ugh.
Yeah, that's what it's like to. That's what it's like to tear a Magic card. But
yeah, no, disgusting.
there he is. And that is the unboxing. We hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, let us know down in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. And yeah, like I said, comment any questions, comments, concerns, advice, anything like that that you have for us. We'd love to hear from you. And of course, if you haven't, subscribe to the channel. It really does mean the world to us. It absolutely changes our day when somebody like subscribes. Or the entire day we're just like, oh my God, we got another subscriber. It's crazy.
we do.
100%.
We're constantly checking.
Absolutely no doubt at all. But I can't believe that we're already at the time of recording, we're at 171. So if you see this and we're at higher than that, that means somebody decided to click that subscribe button, and you could be the next one to do that. So smack that subscribe button. We'd love to have you stick around. We can't wait until the next video. I hope you guys can't wait until the next video. Until then, may the rolls be ever in your favor. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
Bye, y'all.